Alright, this is Andrew Hopwood, and I'm doing my interview assignment for ENT 3003. It's March 6, 2014, and I'm here to interview Jeff Donovan, owner / general manager of Donovan's Home Cooking,
Right.
a restaurant here in Tallahassee, Florida. And I guess we'll go ahead and start with the questions.
Okay.
Pretty sure I covered everything. What made you decide to open your own business?
Well, working for corporate America for the better part of 2 decades, I was really tired of watching the P&Ls come through, profit and loss statements, and seeing all the money go towards the corporation. So I thought I would venture out and open up my own business, my own restaurant. So the main reason is because I was just tired of seeing all the money filtered to the corporation, and I wanted to be the guy that got all those profits.
Awesome. How did you decide on your legal business structure, like such as whether it's a corporation or a limited lease company or
well, it's really just a small business, sole proprietorship. There's really no other legal factors, consumed. It's not like we're going for multiple locations at this time, though in the future we very well may incorporate.
Cool. You only have one location right now?
Currently, yes, only one location. It's in Market Square on Timber Lane at Thomasville Road in Tallahassee.
All right. And how much time did you put into planning, or how much time did you go into planning your business before opening it?
Well, it probably spawns the better part of 5 years. 5 years leading up to the time of actually having the funds available and to move forward with the purchase of the location and the equipment and all of that. So 5 years of planning, getting the ideas in my head, the menu and all of that.
Okay. What did or how much money did it cost for you to start up?
Startup costs were relatively pretty low. It took about $50,000 of my own dollars, and then an investment from my family of another $50,000. We were able to find a suitable lease for pretty inexpensive. So about $100,000 for equipment and location, and initial startup, food and electric power, all the small wares associated.
Okay. And you kind of already answered it, but how did you obtain all your startup capital? It was mostly just yours?
Family investment? Yeah, it was half mine and family investment. They wanted to see me succeed. My family has owned many businesses over the course of my life, but this is just my opportunity to try it out.
Okay. And what were the licensing requirements for your business?
I think I mentioned it earlier. It's just a small business license. Pay quarterly taxes, but there's really nothing other than that. Well, your local and county taxes, but there's nothing more than that.
Okay. And for your advertising, how, what, and when did you advertise?
Well, obviously the key to any successful restaurant, especially nowadays, is to have an aggressive marketing campaign, at least until you get your foot in the ground and you've got your steady business. So it was approximately $12,000 for our first 3 months of opening, and that's right off the top. So that initial $100,000 investment for it, $88,000 was for the business, and $12,000 was just for advertising to get it going. Since then, it's just started to pay for itself, the advertising. But of course, all the paid advertising means nothing compared to the word of mouth advertising, which is what we get through the day-to-day operations of the business. So the initial investment turned huge profits, is what it boils down to.
Did what kind of do you use any information technology in your business?
Well, yes. Besides the website to drive catering sales, well, I guess that's about it. I mean, we use our website to drive the catering sales, as well as to set up private parties and caterings for offsite.
Okay. And when you select employees, what do you look for when you select an employee?
Well, luckily, I've been in the restaurant industry for the better part of 3 decades, so it's very, very easy for me to filter out whom I think will make good employees and whom I don't think. It's a rigorous question and answer schedule to get them to ascertain how quickly they can adjust to different environments, especially if you haven't been in the food service industry. So, what is the process? Was that a question?
What do you look? Well, it was what do you look for?
What do you look for? Well, obviously you want the go-getter type mentality, the people that have high energy, are customer service oriented, people that can handle high stress and high volume at the same time. It takes a certain individual to work well in a restaurant. But it's really just a matter of screening them at the first part and then grooming them to fill the slots that you have available.
And when you hire a new employee, do you do you have a set training regimen for them, or do you just?
Yes, it's very structured and very regimented for the first, probably the first 30 days or so. It's very, very structured. They'll come in one day, and they may be online learning about the different recipes that we have. That's part of our website. Or then the next day it's very structured one-on-one with my assistant manager and or shift leaders that are working to groom the training portion of it, as far as this is our dishes, this is the recipe, we have a recipe book that they must follow. I mean, we're in a pennies game in the restaurant industry. We make a few pennies off of each sale. So it's imperative that the employees get trained as far as the proper formulas go with regards to food.
You said your family members invested money. Did any of them play a part in the business and running it or working there?
We learned from a previous experience of working together that this was just going to be, it's basically a silent partnership. They know what I was capable of, and therefore, gave the money for me to pursue my dreams. But it's strictly that. They're not in the day-to-day operations. But I do have previous experience with working with family, and which is difficult, to say the least.
Difficult, yeah. All right. How many different positions do you have in your business?
Oh gosh. Well, there's the general manager, obviously me, assistant manager. We've got 4 line cooks, 4, 5, 6. We've got 3 dishwashers and a serving staff of 7 to 10. So approximately 20 to 25.
Okay. And when you what's the turnover rate of your employees? Like, how often do you have to rehire new people, or do your employees leave quite often?
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. As a hiring manager, you go the extra mile to select the right crew, because the turnover is what really kills you. Because of the constant training that you're just spinning your wheels. You train someone for 3-4 weeks and then they're gone. That's not what you're looking for, obviously. So what is my turnover rate? Last year we only had about a 40% turnover rate, which is very, very low in the restaurant industry. I think that answers your question.
Yeah, very well. What kind of day-to-day operations or things do you have to do for your day-to-day operations?
Well, I mean, if you're not familiar with the restaurant industry, the list is too long. I mean, it's everything from the ordering and receiving of goods to the books. Even though we close at 5 p.m., it doesn't mean I stop working at 5 p.m. Then we've got like 3 hours worth of books and payroll and making the deposit and doing inventory and all of that.
Okay. And did you do you have, for your day-to-day operations, do you have an assistant assistant manager to help you or anything?
I do. Her name is Stacy.
Okay. And how is your management system structured? Do you have different tiers of managers and then employees?
Well, we have like a floor manager. That's whom is in charge of the serving staff that's on at that time. Then we have a back of the house manager, if you will, slash kitchen manager. His name is Rico. He's been with me since the very beginning. And then we have our hourly employees. So we've got the general manager, the assistant manager, the front of the house manager, and the kitchen manager, as well as the crew beneath them. So 4 management positions.
Okay. And what is the best advice you could give someone trying to start a business? Any business, whether it be in the food industry or...
Well, the food industry, the number one thing is location, location, location. It all depends on, getting set up where there's a lot of either foot traffic or there's a lot of commuter traffic, obviously. And we went through rigorous methods to find out where the best place in town was. And we were looking for a place where, the boom and growth of the housing market was happening. So we decided to open in the Killearn area because that's where a lot of Tallahasseans live.
Okay. And just one last question, but do you plan on opening a business in another field, or is this going to be your pretty much only business?
Well, no, this is just step one of my grand empire ideas, if you will, but I've dabbled in internet businesses before, and I'm really trying to get my own line of cooking utensils out on the market. I would like to see an explosion with residual incomes coming from the internet portion of the business. I would love to grow that part of it.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You've been extreme help, and hope you have a great day.
I hope you get a good grade.